Hello friends, welcome to the first horror movie of 2025, NOSFERATU. This story begins with a young, innocent girl named Ellen, who looks up at the sky on a lonely night and prays for a force to hear her voice and love her. Little does she know, her innocent prayer is answered by a terrifying force. As soon as Ellen realizes this, fear grips her heart. Years later, in 1838, Ellen, now a grown woman, lives in the mysterious German city of Wisborg with her husband, Thomas. Thomas is a hard-working property agent. One day, Thomas is given a dangerous task by his boss, Knock. He must travel to Transylvania to finalize a deal with Count Locke, a man who wishes to purchase an old castle in Wisborg. Hearing this, Ellen becomes anxious. Fear is clearly visible in her eyes as she begs Thomas not to go. She shares her recurring dreams, in which she sees Thomas and her loved ones in the jaws of death. However, under the pressure of work, Thomas ignores her concerns. He leaves Ellen in the care of his friend Frederick and Frederick's wife, then departs on a 6-week journey. During his travels, Thomas encounters strange people who tremble at the mere mention of Count Locke's name. Along the way, he witnesses villagers stabbing a decayed corpse with daggers. The corpse is that of a vampire. Overwhelmed by both fear and curiosity, Thomas eventually arrives at Count Locke's castle in Transylvania. The castle is filled with an eerie sense of mystery and foreboding. When Thomas meets Count Locke, he shows him the property papers. But the Count notices Thomas's locket, which holds Ellen's picture. Locke instantly recognizes Ellen. Here, it is revealed that Count Locke is the same sinister force that Ellen called upon in her childhood. Furthermore, Count Locke is a vampire. Thomas, too, soon discovers the horrifying truth. But before he can react, Count Locke captures him and begins to drink his blood. In the midst of pain and fear, Thomas seizes an opportunity to escape. He reaches Locke's coffin and attempts to destroy him, but Locke awakens. To save himself, Thomas jumps into the river from the castle. Floating in the river, Thomas is rescued by churchmen, who treat his wounds. When he regains consciousness, Thomas is determined to reach Ellen before Count Locke does. Meanwhile, Ellen's condition begins to deteriorate. She experiences strange seizures. Dr. Stevers diagnoses that this is no ordinary illness. Something dark and terrible is consuming Ellen's soul, as if she is being ensnared by Count Locke's terrifying grip. When Ellen's condition worsens and Dr. Stevers finds no cure, he calls Professor von Franz, an expert in mysterious and supernatural matters. After examining Ellen, von Franz reveals that she is under the influence of Count Locke's dark magic. He explains that Count Locke is not a mere human but a demonic force known as NOSFERATU. Thomas's friend Frederick refuses to believe in such supernatural claims, dismissing them as Ellen's hallucinations. But Ellen, scared and trembling, insists that Count Locke is coming for her. Von Franz explains that Count Locke cannot arrive without the soil from his grave. However, the cunning Count has already arranged for his grave soil to be transported to Wisborg in wooden crates aboard a ship. The ship also carries countless rats, which spread the plague throughout the city. Meanwhile, Thomas's boss Knock, who is secretly allied with Count Locke, goes mad as the Count approaches Wisborg. Knock escapes from the asylum to meet Locke and guides him to the castle he has purchased. When Thomas arrives in Wisborg, he finds the city engulfed in fear. The plague has devastated the population. In her dreams, Ellen sees Locke telling her that Thomas has signed divorce papers. She must now make a choice: either verbally accept the divorce and fulfill her childhood promise to Locke, or watch the city be destroyed. Count Locke's horrifying power intensifies. He kills Frederick's children and wife, and a few days later, Frederick also dies of the plague. Ellen, Dr. Franz, Dr. Stevers, and Thomas devise a plan. They aim to attack Count Locke during the day while he is asleep in his coffin. However, Dr. Franz secretly devises another plan, knowing that only Ellen can truly stop Count Locke. Dr. Franz and Ellen agree that if Thomas and Dr. Stevers fail to kill Count Locke, Ellen will invite him to her home. She will let him drink her blood so that he burns to death in the sunlight. Thomas and Dr. Stevers break into Locke's castle and open the coffin, only to find Nock inside. They kill Nock but fail to locate Count Locke. Meanwhile, Thomas learns of Dr. France's secret plan. Panicking, he rushes home to save Ellen. However, Ellen, as promised, invites Count Locke and offers him her blood. Count Locke drinks Ellen's blood, but as dawn breaks, he is engulfed by the first rays of the sun and burns to death in agony. However, this victory comes at a great cost. Ellen dies as well, having sacrificed her life to defeat Locke. Thomas watches in heartbreak and sorrow as he loses his beloved Ellen. This is a tale of love, sacrifice, and the triumph of light over darkness, but at an unbearable price: Ellen's life.